y'all, welcome back to Spirit of the Outdoors. Today's something totally a little different from my normal type of videos, but you know I do a lot of maintenance type stuff and building, making things. Today, most of you that have been following this channel for a while know that we are Southern Mud Pottery here in Mississippi. We're doing wholesale pottery, so we're running about 4 kilns. Temporarily we're running 3 right now. And as of today, we're not running but 2. This skutt 1227 errored. It errored yesterday morning when we got up. Usually we fire a kiln. It runs whatever, depending on bisque or glaze. This particular kiln we mainly glaze in, and which fires higher but fires shorter time. And it fires usually 8 to 10 hours. Sometimes, depending whether they can fire a little longer. But anyway, it errored when we got up that morning, and so it was still on like 1700 degrees. It cooks up to about 2300, I think. So we just reset it, started it again. I knew something was wrong, and it errored again before it reached temperature. So, of course, from my research and previous experience, we knew that we probably needed elements. So today, I went and fortunately we found elements at a local ceramic place that we buy from. There is none online, so we were very fortunate. God looked out for us. We got our hands on a set of skutt elements. So this is what we're putting in today. Now when you decide that you're going to replace elements in your own kiln, for those of you that watch this strictly because it's a kiln replacement video, you have a top, bottom, and center, which your top says top or bottom. So it'll go on the top or the bottom, and then you got center elements. So I have done put 2 in. I'm working on the 3rd one, and y'all, I'm not a fan of skutt kilns, and I have 2 of them. I have a 1027 sitting right there. And obviously, y'all, we're under my carport here, so forgive the junk behind me. The brick in these are very, very brittle, y'all. My next kiln, I hate to tell some of y'all this because I know some of you gonna be skutt fans, will be an L&L. We have an L&L, and it has a lot more solid brick on the inside. This brick is very brittle. This kiln is 2 years old. This is the first time we're changing elements, and I see where when they put the factory elements in, they pinned where they had broke brick, and they had to pin them. So I'm pulling those pins out. I have done pulled them all out for this one set of elements. So I'm gonna reset the camera up, and I'm gonna show you a tip or 2 that I run across that made life easier for me in certain areas of this kiln, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. And the first thing you want to do, obviously, is kill the power. Most people unplug it. Mine is still plugged up, but I have a breaker over there, and I know which breaker it is, and I have thrown the power. I'm absolutely positive the power's off here. So once you've killed the power, you're going to come right in here, and this is where your elements come into from the control panel, and this is your thermocouple here. And I have done put a new one in this one. And so the top one, you see how the wires run. I only cut loose the one I'm working on. I pull an element out, I put a new one in. Then I pull an element out and I put another one in. That way I don't mix up any of these wires all cut loose. I wouldn't go through here and cut every bit of this loose at one time and I don't recommend doing it that way. If you want to, that's on you. So what I am doing is I'm pulling these, and whoever put them in did not leave enough slack to get my cutters in between here. So I'm having to really pull on this. So when I put mine in, and you got to re-crimp now these ends on here. When you open your bag of kiln parts, you're going to have some new ends. You're going to have new insulators. And this is the insulator that I'm referring to here. So I pull them out. So I'm leaving these things on here. Now this one is hooked to this wire. All of these are offset over this way, so I can go ahead and cut both of these loose and confidently know which one is which. But you need to have a way of knowing which one of these wires go back, whichever way you prefer. Now I'm gonna leave that on there. See, when I put mine, I left me a little bit of slack where I could get my pliers in there, because if you're gonna keep this keel forever, you're gonna replace them again. We run this keel, we probably fire it twice a week at cone 5. We were firing at cone 6, but we were getting better results with our glaze at cone 5. So you got this cut loose. Now let's go on the inside. Now I'll try to keep my hands and such out of your way. This thermocouple is right in the center of this one, so we've got to be extra careful on this one. Now there's pins inside every one of these corners. Now I have already went in and pulled all of those little pins out. They just little wire pieces like this, and there'll be one stuck in every corner where these elements bend around. So what I'm doing now this brick right in here is the most narrow brick, and every time I start, I have chipped the brick, and there's no way to do it without starting. And you see this broke here? This was done at the factory. I did not, and see, they've already had to pin that in there. So I have no chance of saving that. The tightest part is this angle, and that's the main thing I want to show you how I figured out how to beat. So, you have to get this started. And I have found that just wiggling it like this gets me out of here. So you want to try to get this out. Okay, now what I did here is hold this and stretch your element. And what you're doing is you're creating a little gap, and I twisted it. Okay, now I'm going to come back over here, and you can use a screwdriver. I've got this multi-tool that's got a little flat deal on it. So what I'm doing is grabbing this and pulling it out. I have slack, and you see how this will snake around. Now once you get past this section of brick, the rest of these gaps are wider. Now why Skutt did that, I do not know. But now I'm just gonna roll this up, and I may bump the camera. I'm gonna go around. But I just thought this little tip would help somebody out there that is replacing elements in their new keel. Because you see how it'll fall out till you get to right here. And then again, I am tight. Well, I broke brick trying to do this on the other one, so I said I do not want to destroy my whole keel figuring out how to do this. So, again, I'm over here. I'm going to dig this out over here where it's wider. I've got me a... So I'm going to stretch this element and twist it to where I can poke it back in there to one, and make sure now that there's not a pin. Well, I got one of them had a pin. I don't think this one. Now this is a little bit tricky right here. So take your flathead screwdriver, and I'm trying to stay out of the way of the camera, but you can kind of push this to slide it, because you've got a corner that you're trying to go around. It may be a little bit tricky, but it's better to basically slide this out than it is to break and destroy your keel. Guys, these things ain't cheap. And I don't know why Skutt has used the softest brick that they can, and then made it so tight you can't put their own elements in it. It's a little bit tricky. See how when you get it going your way, it'll come on out. All right. Now see, once you get to right there, you've got it whooped. When I say you got it whooped, now that's an old country term you're gonna hear. Some of y'all doing pottery ain't heard these old country terms you'll hear me using, so bear with me on that. Whoop. Say, whoa, 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 whoa. Y'all be still. Alright, now see, I'm back now to this spot right here, and I have no choice but to about destroy that. And I've already got my stuff cut loose, so see now, here we are, that element's out. Okay, now remember, this and it says center. You should have 4 that say center, and then 1 top, 1 bottom. You're gonna have a bag like this, pins, new insulators. Don't tear open with your teeth. Get your pocket knife out and open it. I've got me a bowl that I made that I'm putting my stuff in. Okay. Now what I wanted to show you right here with these new elements is they are pre-kinked. So it goes in a certain way. And I'll show you how I determined which way it went. Now the first thing you got to do is cut these looped ends off, and I just come down a little bit and cut it off to where I know that I have still got plenty. And the way you can determine that is it's a little more than what was on the old one. So, and you can do them both about the same. If you want to measure them like this and then I give myself a little bit. Okay. Now you see on this, you see how that is pre-kinked? And then ever so far you have another kink spot. Nothing is wrong with your elements. That's the way they're supposed to be. So let's go put this one in. Okay, so you see that I have this short flat area and then my pin. Well, I know that I have the short flat area here and then a kink. So I have started each one of mine on the bottom like this. Now y'all, the new elements go in a whole lot better than the old burn up elements is coming out. So, and then what I'm doing, when I get to I'm taking a pin and I'm pushing it with my fingernail basically down in there to hold it, and I'm not pushing it all the way. And then I'm working, and if you'll let this unroll, I've got my camera in my way, but you just basically run it on around, and about every other corner I go ahead and temporarily stick a pin in. And as soft as this brick is, y'all, they not hard to put in there. I can promise you. Really frustrated about how soft the brick is. Had I known it was like that, I probably wouldn't have bought this kiln. Now I wanted to show you when I get right here, you see how that kink lines up? And it goes up, see that went right in there easy. So it's a lot easier to put back together than it was to take out, which is a good thing. Just as brittle as this is, I wanted to show you a tip on changing that. So I'm gonna go ahead and get the rest of this put in, and I'll show you how I hook it back up. Now y'all, I'll try to stay out of y'all's view, but I can't make no promises. And I'm gonna put these new insulators on there. I really don't think it matters if you use the new ones or the old ones. In fact, I put the old ones in the first one up here, and then I decided to put the new ones. Just cause it tickled my fancy. Y'all know about tickled your fancy. Okay. Now what I have done here is I have held this up here. I've pulled this tight back and hold this up here. And I know y'all can't really in detail see. Let me move y'all a little bit. Maybe you can see a little better. But I get a measurement basically of where I want to cut this, and then I back up and give myself a little bit of room. Because, and the next thing, when you cut this wire right here and cut this off, make sure you cut it as close to that connector, because you're going to probably change these over the course of this kiln's life several times. Then you go to your 16, and I strip no more than I need, because I don't like a bunch of bare wire sticking out on my... I've got some good heavy duty crimpers. You can purchase them from your local Mac Tools truck when it comes by, if you want to pay two prices for some. I'm sure some from somewhere else is just as good. But I used to do professional work, so I needed professional tools, I thought. So this wire just hops up from this one now. So I go ahead and now when I get that on there, I reach inside and make sure that I'm pushed all the way back, and then crimp it good. All right, y'all, that is on there secure. All right, same thing on the next wire. You can cut these off or whatever. I like to use my side type cutters, because I can back it up as close as I can to that connector right there and cut it off. And I put my junk up there in my bowl. I think this is a 16 gauge wire. My cutters has got 14 and 16 right directly across from each other, so I don't really know which one the wire is. I'm gonna go ahead and crimp that on here. And I will tell you another secret. This has a seam in it, and you see how that has a dimple in one side. Hold it in front of that white truck. And then a curved spot. I put the split side over there. I turned the split side to this curved smoothing, and that part that imprints, I put it on the solid side. I don't know if that makes a lot of difference, but it makes me feel good. I feel like it's has less chance of malfunctioning that way. Mm-hmm. All right, y'all, that is another one done. It's just that simple. So you can do this if you want to. Just remember that all your elements go in a certain order. There's 6 in this particular kiln. This is a KM 1227, 240 volt, single phase, digital kiln. So thank y'all for watching this video. I hope maybe I was able to help somebody a tip on saving your brittle brick inside this kiln. Y'all have a good one.